Cathal Freeman, the man of the hour. Talk to me. Tell me, how did this come about and why? More to the point.
Well, the how is I was just sitting here exactly where I am actually at the minute, and I was meant to be studying, but I was flicking around on the internet, and sure that led me to Twitter, and then I seen a guy in England was doing a marathon in his back garden if he got 10,000 retweets. So I seen that and I said, geez, that'd be good crack. And, I probably could raise a bit of money doing something like that. So I said, if I did get 2,000 retweets, I was conservative relative to the fella in England. I said, if I got 2,000 retweets, I'd do the back garden marathon while solar a slither. And lo and behold, 2,000 people enjoyed the daft idea enough to retweet it. And it grew legs day by day and hour by hour from there.
How quickly into the process did you realise I'm going to have to do this?
It probably took 2 days to get to 2,000 retweets, and I'd say it was Tuesday afternoon probably when I put it up, and it was probably Thursday morning. It was Thursday morning when it came through. I think by Wednesday morning I kind of woke up and it had gone past the 1,000 mark, and I was like, oh Christ, I'm going to have to do this, haven't I? And I know I got a text message from the Mayo manager saying, like, I hope to God you don't get them 2,000 retweets.
That was my next question. Your hurling background, your hurling prowess. You're studying in Limerick, and the event took place on a green in UL. But Turin and Mayo.
Yeah.
The first Mayo man to run a marathon with a hurley, I'm sure.
I'd say so. If there was ever a man to do it, it'd probably be someone from touring, and I don't know of anyone else from touring that's done it. So I'd say I'm the first one, all right.
What did the manager think when he realised you were going to do this and getting that many miles into the legs?
He was, to be fair, Derek, the Mayo manager, was sound. He at the start he was messing, hoping that I wouldn't get them, but I was chatting to him in the days in between leading up to it, and he was just go for it, and he was delighted with the two causes that we were trying to raise a bit of money for. So he was very supportive, as well as everyone else.
Tell me, how long did it take you to do from start to finish? I'll come back to your running prowess, but how long did it take from first to end?
It was 6 hours and 55 minutes we worked out there earlier today. So I had actually estimated that it would take somewhere between 5.5 and 6, but that was a bit optimistic, as one of my friends said.
So what about running previously? Yeah, I read somewhere today your housemate runs a couple of 5, maybe 10Ks just for a bit of crack, and you hadn't run more than 5K before?
With I suppose with both with training for hurling and training for football, the most you'd really do is you kind of do sprint training and kind of medium speed training rather than long distance. And I would have never been one for running for enjoyment or, to clear the head or any of that kind of stuff. Like, I might go for a walk, but geez, I wouldn't go for a run. So as I said to someone earlier, I'd often look at my housemate who would casually go off there now and run 10K without really thinking about it, and back and come, and I'd look at him shaking my head going, how could you possibly be at that for a leisure? My running experience is nil, basically. Now, I suppose I'd train a lot for hurling, but it'd be hurling specific training, and long distance 40 plus K running is not part of the diet for any average hurler now.
A lot of people are coming to terms with having to stay within 2 kilometres of their house to do anything. So you found a patch of grass. You're studying medicine in UL, is it? You found a little patch of grass there by the building?
Yeah, there was a patch of. I went out one day. After I put up the tweet, this is how little organisation I got into it. I went out after I put up the tweet to think, Christ, if I do have to do this, I actually better find a flat piece of grass. So I found this patch of grass anyway, and it was flat. There was a couple of holes in it, but nothing too major. And it was ideal size, about 30 metres in a loop. So fit the bill perfectly.
Have you worked out how many times you had to go around it?
It was 14. I'll tell you how I exactly know, because this is how we tracked it. It was so the GPS monitors weren't accurate enough in that type of short area, so we had to. My girlfriend Julie had the onerous task of tracking every lap, and so it was 1,400 laps altogether around the track, and then every 20 laps I changed direction so that I wasn't burning one side over the other, and yeah, it was a difficult task, as you can see by the number of marks on this page. There was it was a difficult one for her to keep track of, but she did mighty.
Tell me, what about mentally throughout it? How do you fill the mind? You're talking about going for a run to clear the mind. You're literally running around in circles. How difficult was it just to physically keep going?
Well, I'd say the fact that I had the slipper with me definitely helped, because it gave you something to concentrate on. I mean, I'm not a good enough hurler to have my head up, not looking at the ball for too long without it hitting the deck. So, it definitely did help to give you something to concentrate on. But then the one thing I will say that the live stream that we had that was run through Mayo GA, the commentators on that were fantastic, and they really did a huge amount to lift my spirits. Every now and again, I'd stick in the AirPods and I'd have a listen in. We'd a rotating cast of maybe 15 or 20 commentators that were coming in and out throughout the day, and if I felt my energy was dropping or I was struggling, I listened in. One of 3 Limerick footballers actually were part of the commentary team. Donna Sullivan, your own namesake, he'd be my best friend now, and a couple of Gordon Brown and Pádraig de Brún, who'd be his teammates on the Limerick football team. They came along as well. I'd be good friends with all them 3 lads, and listening into their stories about me and telling the wider public stories that were meant to be kept in house. As bad as they are for my reputation, they were great for my spirits at the time, and to have a bit of a smile on my face.
Some stars of the GA world, as you say, Mayo GA TV is a big thing in its own right, so you would have had a big audience there, but some of the people that came in just to share their thoughts on it too must have blown you away. You must have realised this has gone massive.
Yeah. I never thought having Tommy Walsh commentating on anything I would ever be doing wouldn't occur in my lifetime. But he was good enough to get involved. Obviously Lee Keegan as well. He'd be a former teammate and a friend from the football team. Again, it's just great to have the likes of them to add their weight to, the name of the game in this event was to raise money, and having people like them and the profile that they bring could have only helped us in our goal to raise money. So, no more than everyone else that got involved, I'm very thankful to Tommy Lee and everyone else that helped out.
Yeah, a couple more from me. I won't keep it too long. I know you have to get into the recovery side of things, but your aim on GoFundMe was €20,000, which would have been massive and would have done a hell of a lot of good for the Irish Cancer Society. You say frontline staff with PPE, but it's over 50,000 already. It's incredible to make that kind of difference in people's lives.
Yeah, well, to be honest, when I started this, the goal was 1,000, and it kept incrementally. Kind of, I went for 1,000 to start, and then the 1,000 mark was reached very quickly, and we went to 5, and we went to 10, and we went to 20, and it just kind of kept going and going, and more legs were added to it. So yeah, it's way beyond my expectations of what I thought might have been possible. And again, that has very little to do with me, and a huge amount to do with the 2 causes that we were raising money for, and the people that were helping me out, that helped me promote it, and just got behind it and shared it, retweeted it, put up Instagram stories, bloody told their mother and their father and their dog about it. There are people that went over and beyond to promote this event. So I'm very, very grateful. And as I said, it had very little to do with me and an awful lot more to do with everyone else that was involved.
Talking there, you mentioned about Donna Sullivan, who is on the front line, a doctor, a Limerick football captain. You obviously know loads of people in that profession. You want to get into that profession yourself. I mean, this will help them. It was at the core of your idea to go and do this. So obviously they were very grateful for your gesture too, I'm sure.
Yeah. I suppose 2 of the lads that were on the commentary yesterday, Ger Ford and Donna Sullivan, would be very close friends of mine, and from college, from going to college in Galway. And I suppose I would have, through talking to them, I'd have a very clear understanding of the risk that they face and how much pressure they're under in their work at the moment. And I think it's the people like Ger Ford and and all the other types, or all the other healthcare workers, whether they're porters, radiographers, physiotherapists, doctors, nurses, everyone, they're fighting this battle on our behalf, and the choices we make, and in terms of social distancing, washing our hands, that kind of thing, that's going to make a huge impact. And I have a very clear understanding from talking to the lads, and I was very much in my mind to try and help them out in some way. Obviously not qualified yet and don't have the skill set to actually help out on the front lines at the moment, but I was quite motivated, I suppose, to try and do some part and play a small role if at all possible.
Fair play to you. Tell me, speaking of medical, how is the body today? Because I'd say it's some shock.
Oh no, there's muscles that are sore in my body that I've never knew existed before. I don't know, are they in any book that I've ever read? But
recovery is key.
I found out a lot about the anatomy of the hip and the knee now today, I'll tell you that much.
Tell me, Cathal, for the rest of your life, whatever you do go on to do in your medical profession, you may be known as the guy that sold around a piece of grass for a marathon. But what potentially is next? What's the next target?
I don't know. I wouldn't like to commit myself to anything and make a hostage to fortune, but I suppose the longer this isolation goes on and the more free time I have, the more daft ideas I'll probably come up with. So I wouldn't commit myself to anything, but I'll just say that it's important that we all do our level best at the minute to help out the people that are on the front line, make good decisions, and hopefully as many people as possible will come out of this crisis in one piece.
Well, absolutely. And if we've learned anything from it, is to be very, very careful what we tweet, because it can come back to bite us.
Absolutely.
Listen, Cathal, thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on the amount of money you've raised already. And in fairness to you, a novel idea, brilliant to break the boredom, but also support a brilliant cause. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No bother. Thanks very much. See you now. Cheers.